Okay, Mark, we're back on here. This is going to be our final meeting, don't you think?
Should be.
Update meeting. So
Should be the last one.
we'll go over some of that right now. The work that's going on. What are we looking at here for the next couple of weeks to kind of try to button things up? Anyway, as far as the traffic end of it, I know there'll be tree planting and maybe restoration, turf restoration and stuff. But
So I think the big thing you're going to see here this week is the contractor is doing some hand grinding on the deck to try to smooth out some of those bridge joints. So they're doing that. And once they get that done, they're going to move into doing a flood coat or a seal on the deck to help prevent salt infiltration into the cracks in that.
Have
So
they
they've
sealed
done-
half of it
Yeah,
right
they've
now?
done the southbound
That's
side.
why you
They're-
see the different, one looks a lot
Right.
different than the other
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, that's sealed. Once you put that methyl methacrylate on it, then you spread sand over the top of it.
Okay,
It gives you that friction surface and a little bit.
okay.
So that's on there. That's why it looks so much different.
And they're doing that work by flagging operations, is
Yes,
that
they're
correct?
using the auto flagger, which is a little bit something new for us. I've never seen that before either.
Okay.
Yep. And I think another traffic problem will be striping. I think they have some more striping to finish up.
Okay,
We've done some on Third Street. They got the bike symbols on that.
on the bikeway there,
Yep.
yep,
Never seen that green before either. That's new.
and that's all ground in, looks like ground in
Yep, you grind it into concrete.
thermoplastic,
Yep,
Yep.
and it gets melted in.
melted into the pavement, so that should last a long time before
Right.
it needing to be reapplied.
Yep.
Okay,
Otherwise, there should be some seeding, some trees like you mentioned, and for the most part, it's going to be general cleanup work, except for the big thing is going to be painting on the tub girders.
yeah, how long is the operation gonna last for that?
They're telling us about 3 weeks.
Okay,
Well, I guess that's going to be very dependent on weather.
okay, so we'll see that scaff, or what do they call that, safe span that's
Yep,
hanging on
the
there? Are
safe
they actually walking on that safe
Yes.
span and
They can walk on that, but
Okay, it's
really can't
catching-
put any equipment on.
catching any spill or any debris as well?
Right, it's going to catch any spray, and they'll hang curtains to catch any overspray while they're doing the tub girders.
Okay. All right. Then, like you mentioned, the traffic delays that we're experiencing right now. So the flagging operation is going after 8 AM in the morning, and they're done with the flagging before 3 PM?
Right,
in
they
the
should
afternoon?
be, yep.
Okay. And we're looking at probably that lasting for another week,
I would say for the rest of this week.
the rest of this week?
I would think so.
Okay.
And then, like I said, there'll be some striping afterwards too, but that,
Okay. What about the jug handle I had a question about when is that opening up on the Wisconsin side?
I would guess probably another month or so.
Okay,
I guess I shouldn't say that. I'll have to check with the contractor. I'm not exactly sure. It's all paved, but they've kind of been using it as storage for their equipment and that right now.
that's what I thought, yeah. I thought it looked like it was paved, it's final paved too,
Final
right?
lift, yep.
Final lift and it's,
Yep.
okay,
But they've been working over there with taking the causeway out, so they've been using it for a lot of trucking.
okay. For the removal of their own equipment and materials and stuff,
Yep.
that's why, okay.
And they're, like I said, they're backing that causeway out, so they're excavating and hauling it out.
Okay. Yeah, and then, what about plantings in the button hook itself, the
That should be coming up here. I saw they were out there today. They were spraying weeds this morning.
spring weeds in and around those new wall sections that have been built and
Yep.
so forth, okay?
Yep.
All right, so, yeah, you're gonna see the traffic delays are gonna kinda go here for a little bit as they're trying to get things kind of finished up on the bridge deck itself and striping needs to happen. Banner poles are being delivered, correct, to put
Well,
up?
they're ordered.
They're ordered, okay,
I'm not sure what the delivery time is or the lead time on fabricating those.
okay. And that'll go in the medians and look similar to the rest of our Main Street.
Right.
Main Street banner poles, so we'll have to get those in, and then we'll get the banners put up on those. Anything else in the Minnesota side that you can think of? I know there's a lot of punch list items, cleanup
Right.
items, we got hydrants that need fixing and utility type stuff, but
Yep. There's a
that'll
lot
kinda
of
continue.
work in the manholes and that, so I think that's why that lane closure is gonna stay up for a while, because they have to get inside all those manholes and catch basins, get them all mudded up and cleaned up and that, so
Okay,
a lot of that going on.
okay. we have been noticing some confusion with the trucks that are still thinking they can get to Wisconsin via 3rd Street, and some of them end up down in a residential area off of 4th. Others have been turning toward Main, but then with the lane closure, this is the second time they've hit that pole, our city light pole on the corner there. So I know I've talked to you, maybe we can look at something with some signage. I sent something out on that.
I saw that
Have
this
your
morning.
traffic folks look at
Yep.
that confusion. And I do want to check the mapping, but I thought Google was directing properly to the button hook, but I'm not sure if there's other mapping, software that's not quite correct, and why people are ending up on 3rd the old way to Wisconsin. So,
Yeah, there are several out there.
yeah.
And sometimes some are more responsive
Yeah.
than others, so.
Yep. So that's been an issue. We're looking at some signage to kind of help that out, and maybe even a no truck sign down by 4th and Bluff. So they're not heading down 4th Street and trying to turn. I think the last one was trying to turn down an Arkin down there, and the trucks are going up over the, way up over the sidewalk and in the guys' yards on the corner, because it's tight. And, yeah. All right, well, we'll kind of work on some of those fine tuning of once the project's all opened up, make sure we get our signage appropriate and
Get things cleaned up.
get things cleaned up. And I'm working with a group right now on the Welcome to Red Wing sign location and design for that, which will be a city project, and we'll put that in and get permitted through the state. But we're looking at placing that kind of up there along Barn Bluff, between the new road in Barn Bluff and the area where the old approach to the Eisenhower Bridge was. There's a grass area there, so we're kind of working through that. Yeah, and last month that you worked a bunch on the aesthetic lighting, correct, Mark?
Yep.
Remember being out there with you at 11 o'clock, 11:30 at night, watching them refocus lights and do that kind of work? I imagine you might have a few of those photos.
Yep, we got a couple.
Okay, so we've got kind of setting that up.
Should we do that?
Yeah, let's jump into taking a look at some of your construction photos here.
Well, as you mentioned, that first picture is of the work when we were out there at night. See the aesthetic light in the bridge. Got a couple of these. There's the spire with the Wisconsin lit up. And then also the backside of the spire as the lights shine up that.
The wash lighting that you'd see from Levy Park right there.
Yep.
That's shining up the spire.
And then just kind of some pictures of Highway 61 as it's been paved and
Oh, okay,
Looks
at
like
the
s-
button hook there.
yep, striping's been done. You got your colored concrete at the noses of all the medians.
And then right there on that far median is where those 3 banner poles, I believe, go in that median right there. Yep.
Yep. And a little picture of, as you can see before the pictures I've shown, we had that access road that was built along the bridge here. That's being pulled out, and they're working their way back towards the 825th Street.
Okay.
That's mostly gone now. Here's some pictures of them installing the bike signs the other day. So they cut that, or those symbols come out, and they, like you said, they mentioned they grind it. Concrete is ground, the symbols are put down, and then they're heated, and they melt right into that concrete, so they should stay, like you said, for quite a while. And they're recessed, so hopefully snowplows don't take them out.
Yep.
There's some of the green with the white edge striping on it. And here's some of the work they're doing in Wisconsin. As I mentioned, they're grinding along the bridge joints to give a better ride. Some of those have been pretty rough, but they've done a pretty good job grinding those out.
Yeah, I noticed they've gotten a lot better compared to when the bridge was first opened. You could really feel that bang when you went from the approach to the bridge itself there, so.
So we got that the northbound side to do, and then they're gonna work on the bridge over Highway 61. There's a couple of bumps on that north side of that bridge as well.
Okay.
And kind of this is more to show that difference between where the flood seal has been applied on that southbound lane compared to the northbound where it's still looks kind of a little more whitish.
Yep.
So that's just that sand being applied over the top of that flood seal. And that's all I have.
Okay. So, with the next few weeks, hopefully, next couple weeks being done with all these traffic delays and things back opened up to normal and stuff, you did mention there's still gonna be painting probably into the
Probably
late.
Probably late September,
Okay.
yes.
So would that be the last, like, major operation that's still going, other than the tree plant, like we said, the tree planting?
Tree plantings, yeah, they can start up here again, so they should be getting that done pretty quickly here.
Okay,
There's still some permanent seeding to be done, I believe. And then, get some growth so they can start pulling out all their sediment control devices like the silt fences and the silt curtains and that. So
okay,
once we get some
okay.
good growth, they can take that out.
good. All right, we got resident from the east end, Nancy, you had a question probably on some of that planting along the Button Hook side and maybe some cleanup on that old volunteer trees that were in there.
Yeah, they took the trees out, but you can see, and they've graded the dirt and done all kinds of stuff, but you can see where there's big roots sticking up and out. Are they gonna come back and remove those when they get ready to seed it?
I would think they'd have to, otherwise they're
Yeah.
gonna catch
We
them.
usually make those, well, what we do is cut them below, so, the roots that are
Right.
kind of hanging out like they're, sticking out of the ground should be cut off below, because you don't want to spray and seed and have these roots sticking out of the ground,
Right,
so.
and I
Yeah,
think
it makes
they'd
it hard
cause
to mow.
trouble
Yeah.
for their
But the other
equipment
thing,
anyway.
the other thing I had a question on in that whole area, I mean, it looked like they had seeded most of it, and then because they put straw down and then it's like they regraded everything, so whatever was put down didn't grow. But even like on the berm itself, where they put the erosion stuff, and along the boulevard on Bluff Street there at that corner and everything, I don't see any grass. It's all weeds, and the weeds are this tall. I think there are some little
Yeah.
bitty
Right.
grass
And
like
Grass
this.
is it,
So it's like the grass, I mean, I know.
It's
one
been a tough
time you
season
said
for
they
the
were
grasses
supposed
to
They
grow.
were supposed to be watering it if it wasn't raining. I think I saw them down there twice.
Right, they're supposed to be providing an inch of water per week.
Yeah,
So
and they haven't been down, and
then they'll have to come back in
So-
and do a better job
yeah,
maintaining
my
and get some
question
growth there.
is, as far as, I'm assuming everything's gonna get reseeded and they're gonna try again.
well,
But
another part they can
Who's
do,
gonna keep track of that and make sure that, in fact, we get some grass and not just weeds? And for how long is that gonna be looked at and kind of maintained? Same thing with the trees. I know the trees they planted along, the slip ramp all have those green bags. Is somebody filling those to make sure that the trees are still, are getting enough water themselves? How long do they have to do that for? What is the process on all this landscaping? And who's gonna be, making sure that it's actually growing?
Right, so, that's what we're here for, is make sure
Yeah.
that they do what they're supposed to do.
there's a landscaping warranty
Right.
on the trees. I imagine, Mark, on our projects, it's a 2-year warranty.
This project is a 2-year as well.
So it's a 2-year warranty. So we've actually, on Main Street, we had the contractor coming back a year later and taking trees out that weren't making it and replacing them. And, so there is a warranty on that.
But who will be coming down to make sure that the trees are growing? Is it,
That's
MnDOT.
will you be coming down?
Someone from my office will be coming down to
Okay,
check on it.
and
Yep.
checking that periodically, same
Right.
thing, I'm
Well,
assuming.
first off, the contractor is required to do a monthly scouting report to tell us that they're checking on their things and showing that they're doing that.
Okay,
That's part of their payment process. And then they're reviewed, I believe, with us at the end of the first year. And there's some requirements. If they're dead at that point, they need to be replaced. And then we do it again at 2 years, so.
Yeah.
But at 2 years, if they're dead, I believe they're just removed at that point. So they don't have to replace them. But they don't
Okay,
get full
if
payment for
They
them.
don't have to replace them, though, will MnDOT follow up and replace them under something else?
That's-
Especially along, the slip ramp there where that's supposed to block noise and light. If
Yeah.
those trees die and you don't replace them,
You're talking about along the button hook?
yeah,
Yeah, more along the button hook, because that would be into that neighborhood, and that's where we would advocate saying, if you're not gonna pay the contractor to replace it, we'd talk with MnDOT maintenance, say, let's get some trees in there.
Sure.
Because of the headlights and things that
I
are,
mean, let's hope we have growth at 2 years and we don't
Yeah.
have to
Well, yeah,
have
I-
that
I-
discussion.
yep,
Right, but at that point, our project is over and those are the requirements the contractor had. So at that point, we'd have to look at something else, whether it's a
But-
partnership with the city.
partnership with us to make sure that we've got the growth in there that we want. Yep.
okay, I
Yep.
just,
Landscaping's a tough, that's a tough part of the
I know,
project.
It's a tough one.
Yep.
And I have one other question that came up, actually, somebody had posted on you're from Red Wing, that they were coming to town to visit somebody, and where could they park so they could walk across the new bridge? And everybody was giving them suggestions, and I said, you can't walk across the bridge
Right.
yet.
Not yet.
And they responded back, why? And I said, because it's still a construction site, they don't want people out there. And this person said, okay, I'll do it another time, but my question is, when is that all gonna open then?
Once the painting's done.
Yeah.
So
probably
the contractors,
not till November,
well, I would hope they'll be done with
At
the
the end.
actual painting late September, and then they'll have to take
Okay.
down their temporary structure. So sometime in October, they should be done.
okay.
Yeah, and it was the trail was much more open the week before that painting really ramped up, but now they've got trucks out there, I see, probably getting their materials down to
Right,
them and
yep.
stuff like that underneath.
Yeah, they were
So-
coming on the weekend, and so,
Yeah.
but
And-
whether they actually go out on the bridge after I posted, you're not supposed to be out there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I've
Yep.
seen people walking their dogs across and
It's been happening, I've seen it as well, I saw a guy,
out there.
yeah,
Yep.
getting through around one of the trucks there that was on the bridge, but officially it is not open. We'd wanna wait until we are, because our contractor's using it right
Right,
now.
and
So-
we have some issues with the railing that needs to be repaired and
Yep.
that, so we wouldn't
Well,
prefer there
that's
not
just-
be out
That's
there.
pretty much what I said, was they're still working out there, and it's a construction site, you're not.
It's a
supposed to go
construction
out there.
site, that is correct, yeah.
So,
Did the benches get placed, Mark, on the
No, we're still
overlooks yet?
working on those.
Still working on the
Yep, So
benches,
that's another
okay.
item to be done.
Another item, yeah. But that's good, you let them know that it's officially not open. If you see the sign,
I kept looking at all these
Yeah.
responses of places to park, and it's like, yeah, but you're missing the point.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be going
Yeah.
out there.
but yeah, places to park would be the city parking lot right there at Third and Third
Yeah,
and
they
Plum.
suggested that, and Runnings and Anades, and,
Yeah. And I would lean them towards public parking, but, if someone were to park at Anades or I'm sure that they could probably do that, but yeah. Yep, there'll be people definitely wanting to use it. I was up there a few times, recently, just looking at the art opportunities on the bridge, and then also that Welcome to Red Wing sign. And when we were coming down, a gal wanted to go for a walk across the bridge right there, and we said, it's officially closed, So I've had the same thing like you're doing, Nancy, telling people it's really not open quite yet, so. But yeah, we're getting there. The landscaping is something we have issues with, and it has been tough growing, but we need to mow them weeds, get that grass that's down there and maybe overseed again, and
Or you can spray the weeds.
Yep, or they may have to, if it's really bad, they may have to just spray the weeds and start over, so, and that's what Mark's team inspectors will look for when they're making acceptance to those areas. Yep. So, anything else to add, Mark, other than,
Nope, I don't think so.
okay. Well, sounds good. Thanks for coming, Nancy, again today for the last one.
We're finished.
We're finished, yes.
Meetings
Well,
are,
we need to get the project done
Yeah.
yet, but we're finished with
hopefully
these
it was just
meetings
minor
anyway.
work from here on out.
Yeah, mostly the punch list items we'll see in the landscaping, so get that painting done.
Right.
All right, thank you.
All right,